everyone, and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa Show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 248. How are you today? I just had breakfast, and there's just some days when you have a breakfast that was just fabulous, and it was exactly what your body wanted. It tasted so yummy. I know you're all thinking, okay, Laurie, tell us, what was it? Okay, I will. So I don't know if you guys have it. Like they're in Alberta. I don't know if they're just across Canada or where. But the Cobb's franchise, COBBS. So they make all different kinds of breads and uh, scones and danishes and cinnamon buns and things like that. Tarts. It's kind of a bakery of things like that. And they have this one bread that's called Cape Seed Loaf. Oh my gosh. Like my hubby likes white bread. He likes the plain, the simpler, the whiter-ish. Whereas me, I'm the opposite. Give me a meaty bread. I love me a meaty, yummy bread. So this bread for a Cobb's bread is very meaty. And it's, like I said, it's called the Cape Seed Loaf. So it has a bunch of seeds in it. So we take that and we toast it. Then we add a little bit of butter on it when it's toasted. And then, that imperial cheese you could get at Costco? We can get it at other places, but at Costco, it's like half price almost. Those little red containers with the black lid, black lid. Oh, it's a very, very sharp cheese. So we've got to scrape some of that on. And then I put avocado on it, sliced ripe avocado. Little bit of salt, and of course, if you're listening in Canada, you've heard of Epicure probably. I love their products, Epicure spices, dips, and flavorings and stuff like that. So good. I mean, I'm not necessarily, the one thing I'm not a fan of, just because I happen to like salt, is their broths, but that's probably just because like I'm a little used to the tang of maybe the what do they called it? Hydrolyzed corn product or whatever. It's like your MSG or whatever. So anyways, bad me, but whatever. For now, I still choose to eat it. I throw a little bit of salt on because they got flavored salts. And I love flavored salts. That's so fun for me. Then they have this thing, a seasoning called Everything Bagel. And I don't know if you guys ever had I can't even remember what the store was called, but the bagel place that used to be in Alberta anyways. You buy bagel, like a plain bagel, and it had this, an Everything Bagel seasoning on top. So sesame seeds and little pieces of garlic and, it's just so good. Anyways, so topped off my avocado toast with a little bit of salt and a little bit of the Everything Bagel seasoning. Oh, so good, people. So good. And then I had a nice, yummy cup of coffee with it, and I got some water. So, anyways, now that you've got to hear my little rant about what I had for breakfast, I am going to move on to our Wednesday mini reading day. Do you guys have a question? Do you have an intention? Do you just want to see what surprise is there for you? So I got the hit to pull the cards, Work Your Like Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. 3 cards wanted to be pulled. So basically, left, middle, right is either one speaking to you, all 3, or just something that I say. As I read from the book and or just the awarenesses that come to me. So yeah, and could it be just a little bit of everything? Don't we like that? Just like the Everything Bagel seasoning, we're going to have a little bit of everything in our mini card reading today. So I am going to start with, just looking here, because it was interesting because after I pulled the 3 cards, I also got the hit just to pull an extra card for myself, and it was Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So for any of you that may be reading for, You know, is there a place where you're being asked to step up in lead? Huh? I wonder. So let me just see here. 46. Okay. The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't have to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. So basically, the difference between a follower and a leader is the leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture towards or forward to. It says you don't need anyone else's permission, just the courage to stand up, embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way, just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. Yeah. Oh, I like this. This is a work your light inquiry. How can you be the leader you wish you had? Now that is an interesting question. Okay, so the first card, the card on the left. Ready? Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Is this something that is reading for you in your life? So let's find the page here. You're being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, work. Saying yes when you mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they say yes, they are able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand and you are able to give freely. If you're not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you're saying yes when you really mean no, you're likely needing something yourself. Ask yourself, what part of me needs something from them? It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is your second brain. It has an intelligence known as your gut feeling. Tune into this space when deciding what's okay for you. How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate to you? I love that. I really do. Because when I look back at, how I talked about on the weekend that I wasn't in the space where I wanted to look after grandkids. And like I said, when I look at it, it's not that I didn't want to look after them. It's that I wanted to look after me. And how that would show up in that particular time would be just taking care of me, you know, doing my own thing. And in saying yes, it did. There was a part of me that wanted their approval. I didn't want to disappoint them. I was afraid that they would, think less of me. And, those are things that I have been looking at, because it's not only even with them that I've chosen that. It is with other people. So, okay. So take a look at that in your own life if you want. Okay, middle card. Pleiades, whatever. I'm not sure what this means. Pleiades. So it says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Let me find this one. This is a transmission card, according to this book. So let's see here. How's it get any better? Okay. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They've been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission to grow at a soul level and raise the vibration of the planet. If you've been called to write, speak, channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest And so perhaps you've already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in this great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. So if the middle card read for you or anything in this read for you, is there a place where you can, be more of you? This was actually out of the 3 cards when I looked at them when they were flipped over. It was the one that stood out to me. So based on a few awarenesses I've had this week, I really do get that taking care of me right now is my work as I'm gathering this information and growing my awareness and understanding of myself, of the world. This is actually, creating greater. So yeah, and that's my journey. So, what is yours? What does yours look like? All of ours is different, whether we are stay-at-home moms, whether we're people who work, the environment you work in, the career you chose, being a mom and a worker, just, yeah. What's your journey? Yeah, not many people choose what I've chosen. And what if it wasn't for many people to choose but me, right? Okay, so third card, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. What you birthing in your life, babies? Okay, let me see here. This is one of those books. It's not really straightforward as to how to find this. Okay, 92. Let me find page 92. All right. Often our path is exactly the one we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyways. Often what is rising feels far bigger than what we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyways. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. No shit. That's what this has felt like for me. Like this not looking like I thought, where I would be working or having like a full-time business or something. Like I'm really so aware. Okay, becoming more aware, acknowledging this awareness and being more willing to receive it, that our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyways. So my life does not look like I expected it would. And when I really sit with myself and allow the honesty with it and the I really see what's actually authentic and congruent with me. Okay, so often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. For me, that could be spending time with myself and learning about me. Because that could be a waste of time. Yes, interesting point of view, Laurie. So be courageous and do it anyways. We are birthing a new age. Right now, we're in transition period between ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. You are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods in history, preparing for this exact time. Dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene sisters, daughters of Isis, Essenes, priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers from times past. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being. Do you know what's really interesting in reading this card? When I read the midwives, I'm like, I always thought it would be fascinating. I actually had a midwife with my daughter. And so she was the third of my 3 kids. And I always thought that would be so interesting to be a midwife. And then when I just read this, I realized I am a midwife into a new future, a new possibility, into a new reality. And that what I choose and what I learn is I'm a midwife for other people being able to choose that and create that in their own lives. Like by me learning this, by me being this, bees and creates more ease in the invitation for other people. Because not everybody's going to do what I do, like this endless learning, most days in and out. I don't even like to watch a regular movie sometimes because I'm like, oh, I might miss learning something. I know. I'm a curious, educational nerd like that. But I'm really, that is so cool to see myself as a midwife birthing a new reality, assisting others in birthing themselves into their reality, birthing themselves into what's true for them. Oh, damn. I love that, people. Oh, how's it get any better? Oh, so this one says, the activation says, hold the card on your heart. And so if this card read for you, imagine that you're holding it on your heart and say, I'm open to surrendering to the creations that are waiting to be birthed through me. May I be of service in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. Please use me. Please lead me. Please show me the way. Wow. Well, on that note, I'm going to sign off for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, please feel free to share the podcast if it's something that's light and fun for you. And right now, I'm doing mini readings. If you want to have a reading for yourself, it's $35 Canadian for about 20 minutes. So big hugs to you and have an amazing rest.